So here we are in Sawtell, and it's Saturday the 4th of May, and I'm with Tracy Lindsay, and you would all know the Lindsay name because Lindsay Brothers is a very famous name in the history of trucking. And tonight is a very special occasion because there is a reunion happening. Tracy, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you, Kermit.
That's good, it's lovely to see you. What's tonight going to be like?
A lot of fun, and I think the boys will get a bit of a kick out of it. And we've got a few little surprises up our sleeve for everybody. Little tokens on the table. And the boys don't know it yet, but we've got a bit of money over the bar. So when they come in to get a drink, it'll be a little bit of a... they'll be tickled pink to think that they can have a few drinks on the house.
Right.
Thanks to Graham Sebbins from Brown and Hurley.
Oh, good on them.
But nobody knows about that yet except for us and the team.
Yeah, well, over the years, I'm sure you've given them some reasonable business, so what goes around comes around.
Yeah, I think so.
So
yes.
you're expecting about 160
yes.
odd people to turn up?
Yes, we are.
That's a big turn-up. And we're talking about not Lindsay Australia.
No,
we are
Lindsay
talking
Brothers.
about Lindsay Brothers, and we're talking about the period from
1953 to 2002.
Right. Okay. You've had reunions before?
Yes,
Okay.
I have.
Okay.
I've been invited to several of them, but actually I've not been available in the areas where they've been taking place. Last year it was here in Sawtell, and I just happened to be home. So yes, we came along and we realised it was good fun, and a couple of my boys, the older ones that I grew up with when I was like 5 to 10, they weren't travelling too good, and I realised that another couple of years, not all of them might be around.
Right, so you've taken it on yourself to...
Well, when I decided I'd do it, I rang Gimme and Frankie to see if they'd back me or help me along the way. They didn't hesitate. And then I just warned them. I said, well, I'll be in your face, I'll be on the phone, I'll be all over the place. And they just didn't hesitate and said, no, job's cool, we'll do it with you. So here we are. And tonight we're going to pull off the miracle.
Well, let's go and have a cup of coffee now.
Okay.
And then we'll obviously do some footage tonight, and we will come back to this lovely spot and we'll talk to you again tomorrow.
No worries.
And see how it all went.
Okay.
Good on you, Tracy.
All right.
Thank you,
Not a
love.
problem.
Welcome. Can we sit anywhere, mate?
I imagine you can.
Yeah?
That looks like it's got your name on it.
That one will do. That's not working. It is working. How are we feeling, guys?
Good, real good.
All about
I'm just
to
about to
happen.
go and write the speech.
Better late than never.
Now, Tracy, you told me that about 3 hours ago now.
Yeah, I know. We've been busy.
You're still struggling. Yeah. I'm sure you're going to do a wonderful job. Yeah. We'll look forward to hearing it later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it'll be good, Jeremy,
Yeah. It will be. Mate. Very exciting.
Very, very exciting, yeah.
We'll talk you through the night.
We've got a few surprises in place.
I'll look forward to that. All right.
Thank you.
Don't be like that. Good on you, Jackie. It's the best smile I've had so far tonight. Don Kelly, what's your story, Don?
It's a long and elaborate one, but I was famous for many things, but I can't repeat most of them.
Sebo, they call you.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah? So, all right, mate. Quick one.
Yeah.
Why are you here?
I'm here to support Lindsay Brothers reunion for 2024. Catch up with some old mates and celebrate with all the people that are here tonight.
And you reckon it'll be a good night?
It'll be a ripper.
How are you going to feel tomorrow?
Bit second hand, I reckon.
No, she'll be directing. So she's making it happen.
I would like to welcome everybody here tonight, and it's amazing to see everybody here, and I can read everybody's name tags because I made them. Not only are we celebrating the story of Lindsay Brothers, but the unbelievable, cherished memories, lifelong friendships, and the bonds that have united us over the years. This is the remarkable story behind Lindsay Brothers in a nutshell. Dad and Uncle Tom bought a little carrying company on the 4th of March 1953 off my grandfather Poppy, Victor Lindsay. Our story begins when two brothers married two sisters and had 10 kids. The two sisters sadly passed away, Auntie Mari in 1969 and my mum Carmel in 1979. Then Dad married Carol and Uncle Tom married Greta, and Andrew and Justin arrived. Back in the early days, Lindsay Brothers was more than just a business. It was a testament to the power of family and the spirit of dedication, hard work and a shared vision. With the help of my mum Carmel and Auntie Mari, and later Carol and Greta, and some of us kids, Dad and Uncle Tom transformed a modest venture into a thriving enterprise, leaving an unforgettable mark on the Australian trucking industry and beyond. Throughout the years, Lindsay Brothers became more than just a company. We became a family. We became a symbol of resilience, innovation, and the unwavering commitment to excellence. From humble beginnings, we witnessed the growth, the challenges, and the triumphs that shaped Lindsay Brothers. Let us honour the legacy of the Lindsay Brother family by celebrating our achievements, embracing the memories, and renewing the bonds that have stood the test of time. To all the past and present members of the Lindsay Brother family, we would like to extend our heartfelt gratitude for your contributions, your loyalty, your dedication, and your enduring spirit. It was your hard work, your passion, sometimes impossible tasks that we asked of you, and your unwavering support that made Lindsay Brothers, Lindsay Brothers. And for that, we thank you.
Frankie Thorne,
Yeah.
and Dennis Jacker.
That's him.
How are you, gentlemen?
Yeah, good, thank you.
And let's start with you, Frankie.
Well, I first started doing pickups and all that stuff in about 1976 in Stanthorpe.
Right.
Then went to Bundaberg, then back to Stanthorpe, then Bundaberg, and then left, went working for another mob, then come back, and then left, and come back and worked for Weston in Stanthorpe, and Lindsay's bought them out, and then I spent 27 years straight with them.
27 years. You get less than that for murder, don't you?
I know. Your money was in the bank every week, and you know, like you want something done in your truck, you got your truck fixed, and that was it. You know, I had the other parts up. It was nearly 29 years I done there, so and I was quite happy to do it. You know, like you stuffed up, you got into trouble, but you done a good job, and they just left you alone. You know, like so. And usually, if you're towing the van and you're stuffed up, you got a flat top. Yeah, no, I respected the two blokes. They're just unbelievable. Well, you wouldn't have spent so long there if you didn't respect them, you know.
No.
And it was just a good company to work for. Yeah.
So, what era did you drive for them, Dennis?
Well, I started about 75.
Yeah.
Drove for about 75. Went for about 5 years. Then I moved away to another company. Drove for them.
Yep.
Then I come back. Anyway, the Baths that year, 81st, Dickie Johnson put her out amongst the tree. I come back that day, and I spent 32 years after that.
32 years. So until retirement, or?
Until retirement,
Yeah.
Yeah, grew up, different trucks all the way through. I had the third B double in my company, and I got that. And I've got quite a few new trucks. I had the first VT in there with the turbo on it. The first VT 903 with a turbo and an engine brake on it. I had a lot of firsts with them.
Yeah.
And that,
I'm still with Frankie, and we've managed to drag a young fella out called Terry Thurwood. How are you, mate? Now, I should tell the people out here that the people on the other end of this video, that the only reason I'm here is because of this man who very kindly bought me an airfare, put me up at the pub and bought me a beer so I could come up and cover this. And for that, mate, I thank you very much. Good on you. Now, you were telling a story about this man at the bar. Is that right?
Yeah, which one?
Oh, mate.
We just met him in the 80s, and been mates ever since. And
So you guys met through Lindsay Brothers, yeah?
Yeah.
Right.
In Bundaberg.
Somebody went there, we met there.
One Friday. It was a Friday, yeah. And we were up there early, and we had drinks, and just went on from there.
Drinking back then, Kirby. A lot of drinking going on back then and driving.
Oh, really?
I said before, I rang you one night when I was a hay plains runner, and my thing was on the hay plains usually. And one time out in England, I'd never been seen snow before, so I rang Frank. I knew he was going to be up there somewhere. I said, "Jesus, Frank, where are you on this bloody snow? I can't see what's going on." He said, "Put your seatbelt on, son, and hang on." Great people made around, and great people work for them.
Treated you well. Yeah.
He's a Lindsay legend.
And they drag another one out.
You are, buddy.
Barry White, better known as Baz.
Barry White.
Kermie.
Yeah.
Barry White.
How are you, mate? Good to meet you. Yeah, when did you start? Let's go back.
I wouldn't have a clue. I'm about 24.
Okay, all right. We are going back. You're about my age, I hear, so that's a long time ago.
The first truck I drove was a Ford.
Yeah. What type of Ford?
700.
Sorry, I missed that.
Yeah, look at incredible. Vacuum brakes, you hold the flat down the road, this first time I drove it, I come to a T-section and before you get a west wall on, we look for the brake. No fucking vacuum. Because when you hold the flat, it sucks the vacuum out of it. This foot on, put the front wheel going over the back. Shit yourself.
Who did you have to report that to?
Nobody. Top secret till now.
And then you got the first BW, didn't you?
Yeah, 134.
Yeah.
How long did you stay with the company?
Well, I only finished up in February.
Gone just now.
Yeah, yeah.
Gentlemen, again,
Thank you very much.
thank you, mate.
Yeah.
Barry, nice to meet you, mate.
Yeah, you too.
Let's get in there and enjoy it.
Yeah.
More piss.
40 years of sweat by Beetle Bailey. I remember the date, back in 1958. I went to their yard and they looked at me hard. I heard they were tough, but made of the right stuff. I said I haven't too bob, but I'm needing a job. They said, you be slack and we're on your back. You be square and we'll be fair. They said, welcome aboard, now jump into that Ford. I was all smiles as I burned up the miles. And what do you know? They continued to grow. They said, here's your Mac, now head up that track. She's called 188 and she won't let you be late. Tom picked up the phone and let out a groan. Another damn driver has laid one over. Peter did say to Tom that day, we won't be on clover if there's another rollover. They did survive and continued to thrive. They did not shirk from a long day's work. As I burn up the miles, I wasn't all smiles, but it was hard not to skite when you drove in the red and white. For what it was worth, they put me in a Kenworth. It was called 590, and hell she could go. I'm still there with very little hair, and now, good Lord, I'm back in a Ford. In 168, and I get their freight. I do my bit and refuse to quit. I change my gears and think of past years and all the places, as well as the faces of those survivors amongst all the drivers. 40 years have passed, and it won't be their last, since they climbed aboard their first old Ford. Deep in my heart, I'm proud of my part. I'm so proud to be still around. On my final day, when I pick up my last pay, to Peter and Tom, I would like to yell, it ain't been all hell.
Big trouble. I'll be in more trouble shortly. They've got me getting up on the stage.
Bob McMillan.
Yes.
Mate, just give us a little encapsulation. You used to subby for them in days gone by.
Yes, yeah. When I first started running to Brisbane, I realised that there was no money in running out of Brisbane back to Sydney, and I just happened to, because I sort of travelled with a few of the Lindsay boys and happened to know and I'd met Tom and Peter during the years when I was driving for other people, I realised that it was better off to load back to Sydney by doing a load to Coffs Harbour and then another load from Coffs Harbour or Warhope or Dorrigo or somewhere into Sydney. And it just so happened that Cole Jones and when him and Ray were managing, and then Brian and Irene Baker, there was sort of gaps where I loaded elsewhere out of... Anyway, it's long story short, when I wanted to go south and I didn't have anything better to do, I'd ring Lindsay's, and they'd always load me.
You made some good friends along the way?
I made some wonderful friends along the way. You know, the list of people that have passed, I've got some very, very close mates in that list that nearly brought a tear to my eye. They're wonderful people, and I finished my story in trucking life by saying that in March 1953, Tom and Peter Shaw started something. And that's exactly what they did do.
Yeah, on that, people, do get a copy of the current issue of Truck and Life. Subscribe to it because one, it's a good magazine, and two, you can read Bob's story on Lindsay Brothers.
Yeah,
that's not Lindsay Transport, Lindsay Australia. We are talking Lindsay Brothers.
I made one little blue. Tracy pointed out to me. I finished the story in 2001, but it was actually 2002.
Yeah, well, mate, you're going to have to do an addendum.
Yeah, that was a clerical error.
Blame the proofreaders on that one.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. They should have known better.
That's it. Good on you, Bob. Thanks for your time, mate.
Good on you, bro.
Good to see you.
See you, mate.
Catch you again soon.
It's been an absolute privilege to be here.
Yeah, I agree with you, mate.
Okay.
I'd like to share some experiences with the boss man himself, Peter Lindsay. My first encounter with him was as a child, as Dad was one of Lindsay Brothers' drivers. Mum and I travelled many times with Dad, and I will never forget the smell and the sounds of a 903 Cummins-powered LNT as I laid in the bunk as a toddler. At times at Coffs Depot, we would go and pick Dad up, and Peter was always around, and he would always say to me, "Here, son, here's 20 cents. Go and buy yourself an ice block." As a young fella, I always remembered Peter in his green shirt, green shorts, and his black boots. He was always a very well-respected man by everybody. Anyway, many, many years later, I finally left school and off to Lindsay Brothers I go. The day I started work there, Peter lifted his wing up and said, "Here, son, stand under here," and I felt like a family member. Lots of us in the Coffs Harbour depot felt the same. Everybody was Peter's son. I spent 6 years in the welding shed at Coffs Depot, and I really got on well with Peter. You could always tell when he was in a bad mood, as his face was as red as a beetroot, and bloody hell he bellowed. But the next day he would have a smile from ear to ear, and he'd come up and give you a pat on the back and say, "How you going today, son?" Anyway, where am I to? But the saddest time ever was when Peter got sick and was in hospital. I missed the old bugger walking around the depot and decided one day after work to go and see him in hospital. Well, that smile was from ear to ear that day. Then, a couple of days later, poor old Peter died. I felt devastated. I remembered his funeral like it was yesterday, nearly the biggest ever in Coffs Harbour. So, if you're reading this Peter up in heaven, I sometimes think of you. You were a big influence in my life, and you were my employer for 6 years, but it feels like a lifetime. Rest in peace, old mate. Signed, Young Shorey. Okay, I've got another funny story to tell. One day, when I was an apprentice in the welding shed around Coffs Harbour in 1992, 1993, I was working on an old 40-foot freighter trailer, changing the rocker boxes. To successfully change a rocker box on a trailer, you had to jack up the axle and push the other axle down so you could slide the rocker box on all the way up to the spring, and then clear the other spring and to level the axles, and then push this rocker box to the middle. Well, I wasn't quite spot on this time, and the rocker box got stuck. Well, next thing I remember, old Peter was looking over my shoulder. "What's wrong here, son?" he said. "Rocker box is stuck. I just got to lift this axle up a little bit more." Well, the next thing, old Pete was bang, bang, and he was flogging the shit out of it with a sledgehammer. and he hit it around, I reckon, 50 to 60 times, and he stuffed it. Anyway, when he finally stopped, my ears were ringing. The rocker box was stuffed. The jack fell out from underneath the axle. Peter's head was as red as a lobster. Sweat was pissing out of his head. And then he said to me, "I think we've got a problem there, son." Patted me on the back and simply walked off.
How is thinking of a story? Come on, you can do it.
There's too many to sort of put the words, but many years ago, a long time ago, put it away, we just got our LTLs coming out of Sydney, got to Swansea, just before the Swansea Bends, and met up with Paul Muller, one of Roadmaster's cab owners, and we decided to go to Brisbane together. And I had Express on, he had pigs, I think, and we ventured through the Swansea Bends without falling over. Got to Newcastle or Hexham, and then we decided to go up to New England. Well, what a night. I shouldn't say what we took, but...
No days.
Yeah,
no days.
No days, yeah. We're going to get tired. Then got up to about Marundai, and Paul very well at the time, and we had another couple of no-dos and got going. And by the time he got to Brisbane, he got in there. I was all right, was going quick as air or something, but all Paul's pigs fell off his bars in the van. I don't know what happened there, but and tried to blame me, of course. But that's about all I can really tell you now. I don't want to sort of let too many secrets out of the bag before I went on. There's a little fella down in front of you there, probably tell a few too, with the glasses on. Uncle Frank, but we've not taken that much about him either. Well, thanks very much anyway.
Thanks, Ali. Now I'd like to call Evan Jones.
On behalf of myself, I would first like to thank Tracy for this opportunity. This is probably one of the greatest honours I've performed for a long time. To stand here in front of so many, and I can say to you all, 60 years of what a wonderful journey. And I don't think any of you that have drove for Lindsay's or subbed for Lindsay's could say that this has been anything other than probably a privilege and the greatest journey that we have ever done. Our next journey will be up to heaven, I'd say so. But this has been a great, the Lindsay family, R.I.P. to Tom and Peter, to all the boys, their depot managers, and also I've got two RIPs to say to Barry Jones, who was one of my best friends back in the 70s. Barry gave me loads for Lindsay Brothers out of Melbourne, back before Lindsay's even had a depot in Melbourne. When Barry stopped driving trucks and become their depot manager in Melbourne, all he had was a car and a phone. And that's how he started. So the birds up there in heaven, big thanks to you for what Lindsay Brothers have finished up for me. And the one driver that's up there too, Banjo, you were great. Banjo and I did some of the greatest miles together you could ever. Some of them were enjoyable, some were, it was a bit of a pain in the arse, but that was Banjo. But that was great. And a couple that are still here, Ray Dory and I've been good friends since I first subbed to Lindsay's when they first bought the Stanthorpe Depot of Westons. That's how long I subbed for Lindsay for since back then. And also to Barry White. Whitey was there then, still there today. So to those two blokes who are still around, a big thanks to you. But to everybody who has been part of my life and with Lindsay's, a great big thanks. And I can say to Chris Lindsay, Chris took me down to meet Pam Presler one morning at 2PH, and Chris on the load, he told Pam I was to load out then that day, and Pam said, Chris, you know you load no subbies out of with my produce. And Chris said, well, I need to load Evan there. And she said, well, the only way that'll happen, you bring him down, his truck and yourself, and I will decide whether my produce goes on his truck. And that's what happened, and I carted 2PH produce quite often from then on. But to everybody here tonight, to Tracy, the Lindsay family, and Frank and Jimmy, so everybody who's been involved in making this happen. A big, big thanks to you all, and may this journey continue for quite a lot of years yet for most of us. And all the best of health, and thank you all.
Now I'd like to call on Bob McMillan, please.
Hi there, everybody. I'd just like to echo Evan's sentiments about it being an absolute privilege to be here tonight. And I really would like to say to Tracy and Jimmy and Frank and Sandy, and also Tracy's two boys, Mitch and Guy, and young Eve, and also Jenny. What a wonderful team. Lindsay Brothers has always been a wonderful team, starting with Peter and Tom as the first two members of it, and it just went on from there. And the Lindsay family has been something that's impressed me, and I became part of it for two reasons. One, because it was better to do a load from Brisbane to Coffs or Dorrigo or wherever, and then a load from somewhere else to Sydney rather than load straight through to Sydney when times were tough in the 70s when I started out as an owner driver. We also did subby loads for them when I was an employed driver. But the best part of that was that you got to travel with some great blokes, and I could spend the rest of the night with the list of the blokes I got to know well and travel with, and some of them are here tonight, and two of my greatest mates were featured in the second video of those that have gone before us, and almost brought a tear to my eye because there was more there that I knew than I realised. But anyway, I was fortunate enough to be good friends with Banjo, and one of the best mates, Lindsay Brothers, was Terry Conran, closely followed by Beetle, and they were a laugh a minute. And Tracy read the poem out by Beetle, and he was a great storyteller. His book, 2 Lifetimes Behind the Wheel, is the favourite book on my bookshelf. And the thing about Beetle and Terry, they were both great storytellers. Terry told them and Beetle wrote them, and it was a laugh a minute. So, but there were so many others, and some of you here tonight, like Howard, and like I said, I could be rest of the night naming them all. But anyway, what a privilege, and what a wonderful story. And we've all been part of a very significant part of road transport history in Australia, and it will never be repeated because society changes, the industry's changed, and what's gone on since 1953 up till 2002 with Peter and Tom is just an absolute mind-blowing story. And as I wrote a story about it recently, and I finished it off by saying, well, in 1953, in March 1953, they certainly started something, and that they did. And what a privilege for us to be all able to sit here and realise just what a part of it we have all been, and to be able to just reflect on all the memories that we have from those times. Every time you bump into someone that you probably even hadn't seen for 20 years, you can think of it reminds you of another story. So it's been a real head spin here tonight. And as far as the organisation of this reunion goes, I've done quite a few reunions in my life, and now I'm retired, I get to do a few more. This is the absolute best organised reunion I've ever been to, and God bless you all for it. Thank you.
Okay, this guy doesn't really need any introductions. Leon. Now, the trouble with Leon is we don't know who he's going to be tonight. So, anything can happen. Hey.
Hello. I'm going to be me, on a serious note. Look, everybody here, thanks for coming. It's been great. We're going to do it again till the last one standing, right? And back in the day, when we had the freight shed down the bottom, and we had the freight office, Chris and Mark used to be in there looking after everybody. And Chris and I used to have a little every now and then. We didn't get on too well. And I come in from somewhere one day, I'd been mucking up, of course, and he said to me, "Oh, to sack you." I said, "Go on, do it." He said, "Won't do me any good." I said, "Why?" He said, "You just go and see the old man, get your job back straight away." Thanks.
What? Come on, Ben.
Nah.
Thanks, Leon.
I just like to say thank you everybody for just having a wonderful time here tonight. This has been ever so nice. Thank you.
Okay.
I'm going now.
How was that? Is that right? Did you enjoy that? Very nice. Thank you. Now I'd like to call on my brother Rodney.
First of all, we forgot someone when we talked about all our past. Bruno Selinsky.
Bruno's in the picture.
I didn't see him.
He's there twice.
Well, how come I didn't see?
Because you're probably talking.
Bullshit. Anyway.
No bullshit here, mate.
Bruno, he, his claim to fame was he put the first carton of produce on our trucks from Coogin, or was it Tugan? I think they had to take them across the border, is that right, Chris? Bring them across the border to Coolangatta. And so yeah, that's what he did. And then he became our night watchman in Coffs Harbour. And he used to answer the phone. The phone would ring, brr, brr. You get Lindsay Transport, Coffs Harbour. So that was Bruno, but he had this dog called Hack. And there was his old mate, yeah. Anyway, that was Bruno, so I'd just like to, honour him for that. But anyway, getting back to, what are we talking about in here? I've got another story?
Yeah.
Hang on, while this is happening, we'll go back to 1953. Donna Boyers, everyone talks about 1953 and all that stuff about...
Keep the
up here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, the old man and Tom, I think they were going down to Newcastle. They ventured out of Coffs Harbour. And, the rivalry and the competitiveness. And actually, I think it might have been one of the first instances, you know what I mean, when they stuff up. Instances. The old man and Tom took off in their 5-ton trucks with 8 ton on, heading to Newcastle. I think it was in 1953. Anyway, so Tommy was there, he's out in the lead, and he thinks, if I get to Port Macquarie before Peter gets there, and I'll get on the ferry, and I'll beat him by half an hour. And the old man's thinking, he'll be caught at that ferry, so I'll catch him, so I won't go too hard. Anyway, so old Tommy comes down, smoking, comes into the ferry a bit hot, and the ferry was just taken off. And so he parked it in the water. So the old man comes around. This is only what I hear. I didn't see it because I wasn't there.
He wasn't born.
I wasn't born. Anyway, so the old man comes out of the corner, sees Tommy there in the water, dismounting out of this thing. So they had a quite discussion on how they were going to get this, what happened, and how they're going to get it out. Anyway, so they got her out, and on they went. Anyway, we'll do this. And the old man and Tom, they had these Ford trucks, they were side valve V8s. Don't know if you guys know much about them. But then they got these heavy hitters, and they're overhead valve. They should go like shit out of a Shanghai. Anyway, they bought these 2 trucks. One was called Pirate Pete, guess who drove that? And the other was Don Maria. And Tom drove that because of his 2 daughters, Donna and Maria. So they used to go pretty good. And the old man was going down to Melbourne one night in Pirate Pete. Do you remember this story, Chris? Well, he had it smoking this particular night, and he went down this hill, and a copper went the other way. And I was going to say a push bike, but it was a motorbike. And he seen this truck going pretty quick, so he turned around, chased the old man. The old man got a bit loose going down over this bridge. This is only a story the old man told me, Chris. I'm not bullshitting you. And so he pulled up the top of the hill to tighten his ropes. He had 5,000 bags of beans on. And this copper pulled up and said, do you realise how quick you were going there, mate? He said, no, I've got no idea. He said, if you didn't stop, I'd never caught you. Anyway, we'll do another rap. Nice shirt, mate.
I thought it was all right, yeah.
Who'd you get that on?
Graft and Corruption, that is.
Who'd you steal that on?
From Tracy.
Didn't
Didn't you get one?
No. Right. So So we've got the old side now V8s, we've got the overhead valve V8s. We had a couple of collar knockers, Diamond T, and we got the B models. And then we got B model V8s, cab over V8s. We've got the Maxidines. And we got into the, I think we got some Kenworths. Is that right, Dougie? Is that right, mate? And then they had 335 Cummins in them. Sorry? No, I didn't hear that. And then we've got the 903s. And then the boys were pretty happy driving then. They used to go pretty good. And they gained a bit of technology. And then we got the Louisvilles buying the Jaguars. The red and white Jaguars, they used to call them. And they used to go like shit out of CNI too. And then we got the VT 903s in the Louisvilles. And I think Dougie Hurley went to America with a crew of customers and whatever. Went to the Cummins factory. Am I right here, Dougie, by saying that? Am I right? And they were spinning their story about how much technology they put into these things to get about 550 horsepower out of them. They put twin turbos on them, aftercoolers, and all that sort of stuff. And I think Dougie chirped up and said, why do you spend hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars doing that when there's a company in Coffs Harbour that have got them at 550 horsepower anyway? You don't need to spend that money. True story, though? True story. Something to that effect, anyway. Yeah. Anyway, and then there was this bloke that used to drive for us. His name was Arthur Yates. I used to call him Dr. Yates because he had this little bag and he had certain things in it that used to get him happy. He also had some driving licenses in there. That used to get the drivers happy. But anyway, one night Yates, he rang me up because I kind of run the workshop. He rang me up and said, I've broken a pump shaft. How do you know it's broken a pump shaft? Don't worry, Rodney, I know it. I've got one of them. Oh, don't worry. Thanks, Frank. Anyway, Yates had said, broken a pump shaft. I said, how do you know? And I said, and he said, trust me, Rodney, it's broken a pump shaft. And I said, what have you got on? He said, produce. I was like, shit, what are we going to do with that? Produce is like, it was, you had to make that happen. No matter what happened, produce had to be there. Anyway, we found another truck and got it under it. And I said, well, I'll come up and I'll fix you up, Yatesy. I'll get another pump. He said, don't bother. I've got one. I've got a, just so happens, I've got a pump shaft in stock, a couple of torque shins and a button, and we'll get this thing cracking. Anyway, so about 3 hours later, Yatesy rings me and says, we're happy, we're on the way. So yeah, another rough drop. B, black, B14. Hang on, I'm out of stories. We're going to start thinking.
Oh, we'll do another one. No, my stories aren't really good.
So where are we? We're still in the LNTs, aren't we? We haven't started the LTLs yet.
Oh.
Oh shit. B black, B13. Alright, so we're out of the LNPs. I think we're into the LTLs. And a couple of Caterpillars. We didn't have the technology to get them things happening, but they went pretty good. But I think Yates has kind of come along and got the LTL's cranking. I think, was it Jeff Belden had something to do with it, put the stinger up the arse?
Oh, right, he won't have it.
Thank you. What am I, Frank?
You got a big straw.
That's perfect. And anyway, so we had a stinger up there. And Cummins couldn't work out why the injector rockers kept breaking. No one else in Australia used to break these injector rockers. And what it was just, they put a stinger up the arse of them, it generated that much injection pressure. They broke the injector rocker, but didn't break that. It broke the cam box on the side of the motor. So yeah, we taught them a few things. What's that, mate?
Speak English, mate. I can't understand a word you say.
Injector rockers? Stingers? Don't you know what I'm talking about? Anyway, that taught Cummins a few things and how to make them go. Anyway, another one, Frank? All right. I think I'm out of stories, Trace.
That one or that one? We're done.
That it?
Yep, that's it.
Oh, that's me then.
Thanks, Rod. And Sandy, can I complete a shut this off, please? And now I'd like to call Jen Lindsay to tell the story about the quilt and to draw the ticket. Jen's made the quilt for us tonight, and it's also in memory of Mark, my brother, her husband. So now Jen's going to stick her hand in there and golly gosh, I hope we haven't got a duplication of tickets, girls.
I don't think so, not on this one.
Whoa. Oh, that's...
Okay, you watching? Okay, here, guys. Who is it? Who is it?
Stuart Pearce.
Yeah, that's actually for Cole Jones.
It is actually for Collie Jones. Stuart is the son-in-law, and it's for Collie. Or Cole Jones, as everybody knows him, but I grew up as a little kid calling him Cole. It is good. Okay. On behalf of the team that you see standing here in front of you, we would like to thank Graham Sevens for the bar tab that was secretly put over the bar for everybody. I hope you've enjoyed it. Vicky Shaw for making the cookies and bringing them all the way down from Brisbane and carting them around with her. And for Terry Thurwood for bringing Kermie the trucker into town as another surprise. Very, very, very much appreciated. Thanks, Kermie. And we'd like to thank the RSL Club and Greg and his staff for putting up with us for the last 8 months, because I've really given him a hard time and he's come through. So I'd just like to thank Sandy, Jimmy and Frankie for all your support. Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much.
Let's see if we can do the finale. Is there anything else anybody else wants to say? Does anybody else want to have a say to just say anything? We're all good? Okay, excellent. Thanks, Noah, Maddie.
I'd just like to say one thing. The old man and Tom started the company. You guys built the company. Thank you very much.
Any comments on the night, Pat?
Yeah, great night. Enjoyed it.
Will do. And?
Yeah, top night.
Top night.
See all the boys.
Great night. Okay, we've used top, we've used great. What are you going to come up with over here?
Fucking fantastic night. Yeah, fantastic. Pleasure to be here. You
can't use fantastic twice.
No.
You know what? The pressure's all there.
I didn't hear it the first time. Sorry, what have we got over here?
Just give you a thumbs up.
A thumbs up.
Yeah.
It says a lot, doesn't it, Ron?
Yeah,
good on you, mate.
Yeah, good night.
Roger.
Everybody said a good night. But the pleasure was all theirs. Good seeing everybody again, eh?
Yeah. Great effort. Beautiful. Wonderful, wonderful evening.
All right, a lady's perspective, Colleen.
It was a fantastic night, and I think we've all, over the years, everybody, there was never anybody like this transport business. Lindsay Brothers.
Give us a smile.
Yeah, Benny.
Good on you, Benny.
Calling out of Paul now.
A lady's perspective on the night.
It's been a lovely night. I think Tracy did a beautiful job.
It's good, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was beautiful. Well done, Trace. Well done, Auntie Trace.
Oh, well done.
Worst story I can tell you.
Seen a lot of familiar faces.
I thought they were going to do 5 minutes or what? An hour later, I'm still in the hand up. Good night. Oh, you just gave them to
great
me.
show. They want need a lot of credit for it.
Cheers.
Really good to see. Congratulations. I love seeing private enterprise succeed, so well done to the Lindsays. Good on you.
It's just unspeakable. The food, the people, it was just awesome. It was special. It was great.
Any final words, sir?
Wonderful night. Thank you very much.
Ciao, babies.
A good night?
A fantastic night. Always do. Great show. See you later. Bye.
See you, mate.
Cheers, matey. Next time.
Yeah, mate.
There you go. We're in a great night.
Very special.
Tracy done. I don't know how she did it over the last 8 months.
Pretty good. And well done on a pink shirt too, mate.
Yeah, I know. I'm proud of it.
Yeah.
I'm proud of this.
As
I'll
you
wear
should
it
be.
around the streets of Gladstone.
Good on you, mate.
Yep. Thank you.
Catch you again, Ray. Final comments on the night, sir.
Final comments. It's been awesome.
Awesome night, lovely.
There, what?
Final comments on the night?
Comments on the night. Absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Tracy and the team have done an unbelievable job. And I won a bag.
No, it was a great night, buddy. Like I said, Tracy, Frankie, and Warren and buddy Sandy done a fantastic job. And not only that, Tracy's family done a great job there too.
It's great to see the camaraderie. Final comments on the night. Comment on the night.
Great, mate. Beautiful.
Can't say more than that.
No, fantastic.
It's pretty special.
Yeah, really good night.
Are you on a wanted list somewhere? Any comment on the night, man?
Wonderful.
Hey, mate. Any comments to make about the night?
What a top night, eh? What a top... Oh, magic night. There you go.
Well, just give us 10 words on the night then.
I don't have that many words in my vocabulary. That was 9.
I'll settle. I'll settle for 3.
No, great night, excellent night. It should have been done a long time ago. Yep. But I've got all these blokes here. My memories of the Lindsay Brothers started when I was a kid. I grew up with all the boys, learnt to drive their trucks around the yard at Bohemia. My old man drove for them.
Yeah. So there'll be a few you haven't seen for a long time, Dan.
Oh, absolutely, mate. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I've got a long time connection with the brothers. Like, I had the privilege of going to Stanthorpe and sharing Paul Lindsay's first depot with him. That was the first depot I got to manage. So, and we went to Coffs Harbour, and he said, "I'll come with me." So we went to Stanthorpe, and him and Julie had just been married. I spent their he had his first season at Stanthorpe with him as when he had his first depot.
Right.
Yeah. So I've been around the boys for a while, eh? Yeah. This fella standing behind you, Graham Watty. His father, Jack Watty, used to drive for Lindsay's, and I have memories of my old man driving a B model Mac to Sydney with him sitting on the left-hand door, and I was sitting in the middle of the B model going to Sydney.
You better come here and give Ryder a reply, Graham.
True story.
Absolutely true story.
With his dad, I'd sit in the passenger seat, he'd sit on the engine tower.
Yeah, or in the B model on the head seat. Yeah,
right.
Going to Sydney and back.
Sydney and back.
Different world, wasn't it?
That last video they played up there of the memories, right?
Yeah.
Every single photo that come up there, I could smell those trucks. And there was times when they were flicking photos across the screen. There was one in particular had a B model, an R model, and a steel cab over in the photo. I had driven every one of those around that depot of Bohemia when I was 12, 13-year-old with Paul Lindsay washing them.
Is that right? So, we used to do it every weekend.
Yeah, that's right. That's
every weekend. I started in the yard. I started in the yard when I was 15.
Yeah.
When you were 15?
Yep. Got my licence when I was 18 and drove for them till I was 20. In 72 late, I finished. Yeah. My dad started there in the late 50s. Driving for them, so it was in the family.
It's been a generational thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. My old man drove one when they had V8 petrols.
Yeah, well,
and Bill Podge used to build it on V8 petrol fucking F700 Fords. Stuff like that, you know. I actually said about going to Stanthorpe with Paul for his first depot to share. We had a really good season. It was all, the only hiccup we had the whole season was the Saturday night that I got knocked off for DUI in their 8-ton D Series Ford, and then after 2 hours of hassling about whether I was drunk or not, they decided they better serve out a licence, and I never had one of them either. I was 16. I went to court on the Monday and I got a licence off my old man's cousin in Inglewood on the Tuesday.
Different world.
Sorry, mate.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
This will be on bloody
Don't you start.
It'll be on trucking. It'll be on trucking with Kermie. It'll be.
I'm not saying anything.
Mate, you've already said enough. Gentlemen, how would you sum up the night?
Absolutely perfect, mate. The best people I've ever worked for in my life. We were treated as human beings and we had a name, we weren't a number.
Yep. I'm so proud to be part of the early days of building this great company, and I mean great company. Worked for two of the best bosses you could ever have. Got a few new arseholes leaving, but I'm proud to be there. Proud to be there.
Gentlemen,
I have red and white eyes forever.
And I'm the first driver that Peter Lindsay and Mark Lindsay sacked because I wouldn't get into a new truck. And then when I finally gave in, Barry White said, "It's a good truck." I took it. But they couldn't believe it. I wouldn't take a new truck.
Parting words, sir.
Parting words.
No.
We'll try someone else. Any parting words?
It was a good night.
Good night.
Parting words. Magic night, very well organised, and a great show.
Thank you, linesman. Thank you, ball boys. Here we go. One last one. Paul Gillespie, any parting words, sir?
Yeah, terrific night, well put together, and great company to work for.
Thank you very much. That might be a good spot to finish on.
Edit mine out because they did better than I did.
And here we are, in the same spot, the morning after. How are you feeling? Are we hungover?
No, we are not. We are not. I paced myself all night.
Well, you were a very busy
I've got
lady.
Last man standing this afternoon.
Now let me be the first one to say congratulations, Tracy. What a night.
Thank you.
I mean, it was seriously good. The love in the room was palpable. I mean, it was, I don't know how many I spoke to, probably 150 of the 160. And the respect for Lindsay Brothers as a company and as a family, I don't think I've ever heard plaudits as positive or as strong as that. So well done you.
Thank you, but our boys are pretty unique.
Well, they are.
Yeah.
They are.
Yeah.
And like me, there's still a few old boys who smoke. And that's unusual in this day and age.
Yes.
We're too old to change. But don't take up smoking, kids.
No, definitely not.
It was a wonderful night, full of surprises, as you mentioned yesterday.
Yes.
And the camaraderie was just second to none.
It was.
Your kids are glad that it's over, aren't they? Because they mentioned last night that they've been working on this with you, or got dragged in,
Yes.
for 8 solid months.
No, they've been hearing about it for 8 solid months.
Oh, have they?
But they only really got involved when they met a very good friend of mine of 40 years, Pedro.
Right.
Back on the 17th of January.
Okay.
And then they sort of got into it because they'd only ever known me as their mum.
Yep.
Because I'd retired back in 2000.
Mm-hmm.
So they didn't really have any idea of what I used to do, and didn't really know any of my drivers.
So this was a new experience?
Oh, hell yeah.
For them?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and they did really well.
They did.
Yeah.
Yeah. That boy of yours, he could have had a whip in his hand getting
Mitch,
people into
yeah.
water.
No, he was very good, very good.
Yeah, no, it was a wonderful night, and as I said, I'm just really blown away. I'm so grateful to have come up here. And Terry Thurwood, thank you very much, mate, wherever you are, because he's got to take me to the airport soon.
Yeah, that's right.
Because it was Terry that brought me up here for this.
As a surprise for me.
As a surprise for you, and it was humbling to be thought of in such positive terms by Terry, and I hope when I put all this together it'll do you proud.
So do I. Do I get to have a look at it first?
No. No. Yeah, it was a great night.
Yes.
A great night. You must be feeling very satisfied.
Yes, getting ready for last man standing this afternoon.
So we're not finished yet.
No. Everybody's getting organised, having breakfast, having a lie-in, having a late brunch.
Right.
And then we will be backing up again to the Sawtell Hotel, who have been absolutely marvellous over the last 4 days.
Nice pub. Stayed there last night. Very impressed. There's a man coming in, on camera, I guess he's entering stage left.
Yes.
Mate, sit down, take a seat.
Stage left.
Coffee boy.
They buggered that up, mate. You were supposed to have a large.
Oh, look, I'll take whatever's going. As you can tell, folks, this little bit of video might be a bit over the place. Oh, look, centre stage. And who are we talking to here?
Warren Gim.
Gimme. How are you, mate? How are you this morning? You're a bit red around the cheeks. It's
He's had a
I'll
big
just
night.
move this back a bit so we can get you both in screen here.
Good hungover.
You managed to down a few, did you, mate?
Yeah, 3 days now. 1 to go.
Oh, okay, so you've been up here for the duration, have you?
Thursday, yeah.
Right, okay. We might just grab this and just... Yeah, forgive all the ins and outs, folks, but hey, it is the morning after, and I'm not hungover because I was too busy working last night, but yeah. This video will be what it is. Gimme, you've been here for for the duration, mate?
Yep.
Okey-dokey.
In Sawtell.
At Sawtell, yeah.
Thursday.
Yeah. And helping out, you've been Tracy's right-hand man, it appears to me.
Yes.
Is that a fair summation?
Absolutely.
Is it? Yeah. Well, good on you, mate, because all the effort that you folks and many other helpers, kids we talked about before, have gone above and beyond to create one hell of an event.
Yep.
A really good event.
It's been a good weekend, eh?
So personally for you, what did it mean, Gimme?
Catching up with all old mates and a lot of stories, good stories from the past.
There were a few of those, weren't there?
Yep. Yep. Catching up with people you thought were dead, but they're still there.
Yeah, look, on that, and I've got to say, a very poignant part of the presentations that you did last night was the video of folk who have passed
The
on.
Vale video. Yes.
Yeah, you could have heard a pin drop in the room. It was very touching, and special to those in the room, and also I suspect to the family of those who have passed when they see it, and they will, that those people were remembered and cared about.
Yes.
And loved.
Well, that was one of our challenges that we had.
I can imagine.
For the ticket holders, was to contribute photos that they had, so that we could make a slideshow and Gimme pick the song to go behind it.
Look, it was a wonderful night. Congratulations to you both. Congratulations to everybody else that was involved with the whole event. As I said, it really was special. I was very humbled to have been able to be here.
No, thanks for coming up.
And to witness, as I said, the love in the room.
And Frankie and Sandy, they were in the team as well. We were actually the awesome foursome.
Right, okay. Well, yeah, good on you guys, wherever you are, probably nursing a hangover. And there's nothing...
No, they're over there having brekkie.
Oh, okay, yeah, well, yeah, that's sort of the tail of the dog.
Yeah.
Something greasy for breakfast is always a good idea after nights like that. Congratulations, it was a wonderful, wonderful do.
It was good to meet you, mate, and good to see you there.
You too, mate,
Yeah.
and it's a small world, it's a small industry, and I know our paths will cross again in the not too distant future.
Yep.
Excellent.
Take care of you.
Okay.
Good on you, mate.
Good on you guys.
You're a
Thank you.
legend. Yep.
See ya.
Mate.